The Bonnie Blue situation is disgusting. Obviously, anything about Bonnie Blue, obviously it's gonna be disgusting. That's 100%. Anyways, credits and shout out goes to AugustTheDuck. And without further ado, let's just get straight to it. It's been a while since I reacted to AugustTheDuck.
Did I hear right that you have a stunt planned for June?
Yes, I have a baby shower on Saturday, next Saturday, and I'm inviting the public to turn my baby shower into a golden shower.
You see, now I'm uncomfortable.
Every now and then, I'll make a video.
So now we are going to the worst case scenario. She's actually having a baby shower. May God save that child. May God help this baby or this child. May he have the best. I hope he doesn't get bullied, which is hard. He's gonna get bullied.
That, with my YouTuber senses, I can kind of tell before I even upload it that, like, people are probably going to argue in the comment section. And usually when I do that, I'll, like, jokingly say, can we keep it civil? You know, something silly. And I feel like that always makes it worse. So I'm going to try something different today. Really go at it, guys. Just get mean. But I will ask one thing. If it starts to go too far, if you find yourself kind of losing yourself in the argument, you guys need a uniting factor. Just start making fun of me, okay? Stop being mean to each other and just start making fun of me, say I have a stupid mustache or something. Let's keep it not civil. Okay, I'll be back with the results of this experiment in 48 hours. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that a lot of you would read a title like the Bonnie Blue situation is disgusting, or, you know, whatever the title ends up being. I never really know. I like to live life on the edge. But you'd read a title along those lines and think something like, yeah, isn't that kind of the point? And to that, I would say, you know what? That's fair. Bonnie Blue's whole thing seems to be doing shit that most people, maybe most people is an understatement, but things that most people are not willing to do. However, today we're talking about how Bonnie Blue has taken that idea and taken it to a place that honestly I think should be too far for everybody. Now, this is the first time I've ever talked about Bonnie Blue on this channel because I don't really give a shit about what a porn star does. If people want to make porn, if people want to watch porn, that's not something I'm gonna lose sleep over. It seems like a lot of people have lost a lot of sleep over Bonnie Blue because she has done some pretty interesting things. If you've never heard of this name, if you have no idea who this lady is, like I said in the beginning, she's sort of infamous for doing things that most people wouldn't be willing to. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, last year she had sex with over 1,000 men in a 12-hour period. Definitely not something I see the average person going out to try. However,
I think that's a Guinness World Record. I swear to God, that is like some type of Guinness World Record. There's no way some women did more than 1,057 men in 12 hours. No way.
Like I said earlier, a bunch of adults getting together to run the grossest train imaginable is not something I'm really gonna lose sleep over. If they're all having fun, if they're all having a good time, who gives a shit, right? What I might lose a few winks over, however, is Bonnie Blue, who is pregnant now. If I didn't mention that already, that's important. Deciding to turn her baby shower into a giant golden shower where she's gonna let a bunch of dudes piss on her instead of, I guess, the more boring alternative of eating some deviled eggs and getting some gifts. Yeah, so
yo, what the fuck kind of assumption is this? How did you know men are gonna piss on her, bro? Why? Why is that your assumption, bro? What if she just wants to have shower with men, like a normal baby shower with men? What the fuck, bro? No way she's that cruel to do that, bro. Remember, you have a child on the way, Bonnie.
recently, Bonnie Blue went on a British radio show called LBC, where she talked about, like, her influence and her pregnancy, and this came up, and honestly, I don't even know what to say about it. We're gonna take a look at the clip and then talk about it some more, because I think this might honestly be one of the most insane things I have ever heard a human being say. Yippee. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
You have more, you're continuing throughout your pregnancy, or so far in your pregnancy, to do your work, and did I hear right that you have a stunt planned for June?
Yes, I have a baby shower on Saturday, next Saturday, and I'm inviting the public to turn my baby shower into a golden shower.
Okay, so truthfully and honestly, I am not a prude. I'm a pretty open-minded, progressive person.
What the fuck
with that
is this?
being said, I think that even saying that sentence should get you sent to a federal prison. In my opinion, I think that doing something like this is an extreme violation of this child. Doing porn while pregnant is a thing that is morally debated pretty often, and it's something that I'm not really going to get into today.
I
I'm
think
not
the
gonna get
child
stuck
is
in the
gonna
weeds,
feel it,
because
bro.
I think that this is not like a separate thing, but it's definitely different. You know, I think there is a major difference between filming a pornographic movie while you happen to be pregnant and turning your baby shower into a pornographic shock value fest where you invite members of the public to come piss on you. You know, this is turning the spectacle of everything that you would typically do while you're pregnant into nothing more than an opportunity for pornographic shock content. Like, this is something that will
Shouldn't baby shower be clean? What the fuck do you mean? You're gonna smell like piss. Would you at least use shampoo and this, then they piss on you? What the fuck? How does this work? You're gonna put soap all over you just for them to piss, or like you're just gonna stand there and they piss on you, or what the fuck? How the fuck does this go? I don't know what the fuck am I hearing at all at this point. This might be the most disgusting video I made.
follow this human being who has no say in this whatsoever for their entire life, because I promise you, when Bonnie Blue has a fucking kid, people are going to do everything they can to figure out who it is, especially with her doing shit like this.
You see, now I'm uncomfortable. I haven't been uncomfortable at all in our conversation, and you're delightful to meet. Now I'm uncomfortable. This is your baby. This is your child.
Yeah. Again, my body, this is what I'm choosing.
Another body as well.
Yeah, but when you have sex with them, again, it goes back to whether you're having sex with one person, which most people do throughout their pregnancy, or a group of different people with different sized penises. It's the same thing. Like, if you couldn't have sex during pregnancy...
No, the fuck it's not. Where did you get it's the same thing? Sleeping with one man isn't the same as sleeping with 1,000 men, alright? That is not true. And plus, even though it's your body, there's a child or an entire human being that's about to be released on Earth with you right now. He might die. The kid is not coming out, bruv. I wish the best for whatever is inside her stomach right now. I wish it the best, bro.
Not have sex. But you can have sex, so I will have sex.
Okay, so I feel like it's very obvious here that the issue is not that you're having sex while you're pregnant. It's that you're filming your baby shower, which you're turning into a golden shower, and posting it onto the fucking internet. If a pregnant woman has sex while she's pregnant, that does not follow the person around for the rest of their life once they're born. This does. And there's a certain responsibility that any halfway decent person would feel towards their child to not make them endure that. Especially when all you're getting out of it is money and fame. It's not like you're doing this to survive or doing this to ensure anything. You're doing this because you want more money.
I'm not worried about you having sex in pregnancy. I just think turning a baby shower, or do you regard it as a fake baby shower?
Yeah, it's like a fake baby shower. I won't be inviting
How?
the family.
No, but your baby's with you.
Of course, but the baby's with me for the whole 9-10 months, so...
Just make it a sex event.
Because I'm pregnant, pregnancy is a big fetish for a lot of people, and
How?
yeah, who knows, I might only be pregnant once, so I'm going to make the most of it.
Yeah, so I feel like if your main focus while pregnant is I need to make as much porn as possible, rather than maybe I should start preparing to be a parent, your priorities might be a little mixed up. Maybe just...
So wait, so after this podcast, didn't like the FBI or the CIA or Child Protective Services look into it at least? They didn't like look into this shit? Because you're telling me if you're pregnant, you need to calm down on sleeping with other guys. You need to relax till the baby comes out, and then you can do it again. It's your choice, your body, your choice. I can't say anything. But I'm just saying in general, it would be smart if you just took a 9 months break, and then it's your choice. If you want to come back, go back and do it again. It's your body, your choice. But I feel like the baby needs to be healthy at least. At least I need to see him alive. Him or her alive. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet.
to touch. Social media truly has ruined us, hasn't it?
Do you worry, and I didn't expect to go here in this interview, but
Yeah.
do you worry that your baby might be taken off you?
Yes, it's gonna be
No.
taken off. No!
There's one thing which is social media and there's one thing which is reality.
Reality,
And I
it's gonna be taken
Well,
off.
I've seen the state of some families, especially in the UK, and they've got kids and continue to have kids and get funded by the government to keep pushing more out.
I feel like the whole social media is different than real life thing is a pretty shitty cop-out in this situation. Also, yeah, a lot of people have kids when they probably shouldn't, but they're probably not doing it as publicly as you are. I mean, you are advertising the fact that you are putting your kid in a situation that a lot of people, some of who are in the position to decide who gets to keep their children, would agree you should probably not be putting your kid in.
So I don't
Yeah.
worry at all that I'll have my child taken off me.
even though you're openly there, I know you're saying you're not using your child, but I don't. I would argue that you are using your child, because again, it's that neutrality thing that you use in conversations. I don't know whether it's planned or whether it's just how you interpret things, but it isn't neutral to have a baby in the kind of setting you're just describing.
Okay, so I feel like
True.
this is a very good point, and it's something that
Very
I
good
think should
point.
really be considered. To me, putting yourself in this sort of situation is like the social danger equivalent of the physical danger that you'd put you and your baby at if you got on like a motorcycle while you were pregnant. Is it the most morally detestable, most dangerous thing you could possibly do while you're pregnant? No, but I feel like anybody who's looking at this through a fair lens can recognize that it's a risk that nonetheless you should not be taking. Like I said, this will follow this kid around forever, and it is not fair for you to put that on that child.
Like most things I do, you'd probably be disgusted in, or you'd be like,
It's not disgust, honestly, it's not. It's concern, not disgust.
yeah. But again, if people was actually there, it's not as intimidating. These men are actually really sweet, they're nice people. But you only see the idea that I've had sex with all these men and it's not a nice environment. And that's not the reality, and there's more to show behind the scenes.
Again, I don't really think people's main concern is the idea that like this setting itself is dangerous. That is something that should be thought about, because honestly, I don't think the average man who is willing to do something like this is somebody that you should like trust. You know, maybe that's me being closed-minded, but I've known a lot of dudes in my life, and I don't think I've ever met a person who would be willing to do this. So it's pretty out there. But while that's something that I think is worthwhile thinking about, again, I don't think it's the main issue. I think it's the fact that this is going to be immortalized on the internet forever. It's going to be somebody's baby shower where their mom got pissed on by a bunch of random dudes while
Holy
they were in
shit.
her womb. And I don't really think, again, that is a fair thing to put on somebody.
But until your baby's born,
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's gonna happen, because like, think about it, bro. The world can't be this cruel unless it is. Like, what if like she offered you to do it? Would you accept? I'd decline. I don't know. I mean, personally, I'd say fuck no. I don't know about the others. Me, fuck no, bro. That's how you need to like have sympathy as well, kind-hearted for yourself, not just for this girl, bro. At this point, and yes, I'm telling you, whatever's gonna come out, it can't experience reality. You have to be homeschooled forever, bro. Forever. That's just sad, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that's just sad.
he or she has to come along for the ride.
Yeah, it's... Again, if the sex was harmful, I wouldn't do it, but it's not harmful.
How?
And it would just be down to people's opinion, whether they agree. And a lot of people won't agree with it, and it's going to have a shock factor to
Exactly.
it, and
No.
people are going to be, you know, angered, and that's part of it.
Okay, so again, I don't really think that this is being presented all that fairly. If you want to say that like physically everything is above board, like you're making sure the guys that are coming in have like good intentions and they don't like mean to harm you, okay, yeah, sure, that's one thing. Saying that the baby is not in physical danger is different than saying that it's not dangerous at all. Because again, there is like a social and moral aspect of this that just cannot be ignored just because like you don't agree with it. And I think that's kind of how she's framing this. You know, it seems like she thinks that there shouldn't be any moral obligations or like social repercussions for this, and therefore she's acting like there aren't any, but that's just not the case. Believe it or not, a lot of people grow up to be nothing like their parents, and I feel like there's a very, very, very good chance that this kid is not super happy with all this going down, and you can say that it's her choice, she can do whatever she wants, and like if you really stand on that, okay, I disagree. There's a stark difference between trying to take away a woman's freedom and being reasonable about what is normal and acceptable behavior while a person is pregnant. Just like you wouldn't say it's taking away a woman's autonomy by saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't drink while you're pregnant. In my opinion, this is a similar thing. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether it's a moral failing of our society, whether or not we're all prudes, whatever you might want to say it might be, this will have a negative effect on this kid. There is no doubt about it. And if you want to live in a fantasy land and pretend like that's not the case, okay, that's your prerogative, I guess, but you're wrong. I'm all for bodily autonomy. I'm all for making whatever decision you want to make for yourself, but guess what? This is not a decision that just affects Bonnie Blue. And once you step into that territory, guess what? It's not just about you anymore. There's no way around that. It is your responsibility as a parent sometimes to abstain from certain behaviors that you might really enjoy if they are going to negatively affect your kid. And that's not an opinion. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said, I don't really feel like there is a good excuse for doing something like this. I feel like if you're looking at this through a fair and objective lens, you can immediately see what the issue is, and trying to like walk around it or pretend that that issue does not exist is silly. And like I said, it's sort of like you're trying to live in a fantasy world. Lots of things are unfair, lots of things are not ideal. We still have to deal with those things like adults. This is one of those things. Just because you might think that this shouldn't have any effect on your kid, just because, like in an ideal world, people wouldn't care, they do and they will, and you are doing something to your child for no other reason than, like I said, money and fame and shock content. This is genuinely going to end up jeopardizing the happiness of this woman's child for nothing other than something people will talk about for like 3 or 4 days maybe, and then it won't come back up until it's used solely against this kid. So that's really fucking cool that she's doing this. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, if you find yourself getting angry, just start making fun of me. We can do this civilly, people. So yeah.
So, I have nothing to say. Honestly, I have nothing to say. Good luck with the child, I guess. Subscribe and like the video. I'm gonna be uploading like this a lot. And yeah, peace.